First of all, let's get straight into the tribunal tonight. Buddy Franklin was up trying to get himself cleared so he could lead the Sydney Swans against Melbourne. It's going to be a big game. There it is. There was a check there from Cochin, a push to the throat and then a whack to the mush. And he got a week and it was upheld tonight. Carrie, your thoughts?
Well, this was, well, it would have been, I know it was debated among the Sydney fraternity hierarchy as to whether they take this to the tribunal. We know clubs are really squeezed with their soft cap, and Sydney in particular have been very vocal about this. This is $10,000 out of Sydney's footy department spend, and we know how vocal their coach, John Longmire, has been about this.
Do you think it's wasted?
I do. I don't think he really had any chance of getting off. And you look at the vision, I mean...
Let's look at it again.
You got fired up about Marlon Pickett a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's no... That's a week every single day of the week, and I thought he was lucky just to get a week, but I was convinced he'd get a week, Ross. And I think $10,000 at a time when, you know, you're really strapped and losing good staff...
Well, 10's 10. You can do a lot with a psychologist or a psychiatrist with $10,000. And look, that was in colour, but that was black and white, that vision, wasn't it? There was no debate there.
As soon as you hit anyone open hand, closed hand, you get a week, and then it goes up if there's any damage. But just before we move on from that, I just want to have a look at some of the comments made by the two QCs involved. And Andrew Woods was the AFL counsel, and he said this: it's brazen, it's cowardly, and the opposing player isn't expecting that to happen to him. Well, I'd counter that in the fact that it was Cochin who actually stopped and instigated the contact. It's AFL, not Fight Club or a combat sport. So can I just stay with Andrew Woods there and say to the AFL counsel, Andrew Woods, mate, pull up. That is way out of odds.
What about what Duncan Miller had
hang on, but no, to call a player a coward and a cowardly act is almost effeminable. Right, put the other one back up. Let's go with it again. The head movement back was somewhat exaggerated. I don't know if you've been pushed in the head by Buddy Franklin, and it had an effect in that a free kick was reversed. It's tempting to say he might have been invited to the Logies and not the Brownlow next year. Now,
well, you wonder why it was delayed, the tribunal. Maybe they were working hard on their lines, and they feel good about that, but I think it's out of line. Trent Cochin, he threw himself in front of a freight train in Lance Franklin coming. I think it's flippant. I think it's unnecessary.
They are two of the best people in football as far as their reputations. To be an allegation from a QC of a cowardly act and another one to be acting.
And another one for staging. When I would say that Trent Cochin went out of his way to help Buddy Franklin, Lance Franklin, and did the exact opposite. He had a smile on his face.
Yeah,
Weird stuff.